What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Punch. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, whether you're watching us here on YouTube or listening in on the audio version of the podcast, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, and then please come back here every Wednesday, see what we're talking about. Kind of like this week's topic, we are talking about our top 3 movies that feel like Christmas but aren't technically Christmas movies. And yes, we batted around that description a lot in the pre-production meeting, so that I would hopefully say the right thing.
You nailed it.
I think I got it. Now, what's going to be the title of this? We'll see what fits in the description, how many characters I can put in.
It's got to be at least 15 words, Brody, at least.
At least. All right, I am Brody Hanson, joined by Charlie and Tudong Dylan.
Hey.
Hey. Right. So this top 3 is a little bit different, and I think there was potential for us to have very different lists. So I am curious how you guys went about picking this list and what you kind of count as a movie that feels like Christmas but is not a Christmas movie. Tudong, I'm very interested in how you picked these movies.
It's an eclectic list, I have to say. The third one came just to a snap decision. I'm like, all right, Christmas movie, not Christmas movie, this. All right, yeah, that works. Some of the other ones, they have Christmas in them. But they do, for me, feel like Christmas. They for me, are things... I mean, some of them, even though they may be obscure, they may be funny choices, but they're comfortable choices. Comfortable like Christmas, like a warm, gives you a warm feeling somehow.
Okay, all right, Charlie, how about you?
So for something to be a Christmas movie, Christmas has to be like essential to the plot, and this kind of goes for any genre of movie. So if you take Christmas away from Elf, there's no movie. Sure. It doesn't exist. It can't exist beyond what the theme is. But there are movies that like maybe have like a loose element of Christmas mentioned in it. Maybe it's decorations in the background or just a little bit of the backdrop for parts of the storytelling that could easily be replaced with something else. Maybe a couple of lines of dialogue, a character's costume. Something that could be easily manipulated or adjusted, and then suddenly the movie is exactly the same. So I try to picture myself in a studio room, and we've got this completed movie, and then someone comes in the room, and they're like, "We didn't get the rights to Christmas," and so we couldn't use it. We didn't get the rights, and so we got to redo everything. And do we have a movie still? If we have to take out all the Christmas references. But all 3, and I did 3. I'm sorry, I'm going long here, but I'm giving you my methodology. 3 categories: movies that I enjoyed with my family, movies I enjoy with just my wife, and movies that I enjoy just by my lonesome. Wow. And so one of each of those 3 categories shall be represented in my list.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay, that is very structured. I didn't go that structured. I just picked movies that feel like Christmas movies to me, but they're not like directly about Christmas. They probably I think all of them take place during Christmas, and so to me they're kind of like Christmas movies, but they're not actually Christmas. So, all right, well, we've got our ugly sweaters. I've got my eggnog. Charlie has his raging Christmas fire behind him.
Yeah, it's hot. I got my sleeves rolled up. I'm like, this fire. Woo.
All right, let's go ahead and get this top 3 started.
Nice.
All right, top 3. I think it's starting with me. We shall see when I go to the next one. It is me. It's Edward Scissorhands. Oh. This one.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one has a large portion of it, and at least like the climax of the movie is taking place during Christmas time. It's taking place in winter. Everybody's decorated for Christmas. The parts that are like during summertime almost feel a little like off a little bit, because everything else, like all of the Edward Scissorhands stuff, like feels very Christmassy. And in the end, like he's doing ice stuff and he's causing it to snow and all this stuff. And so this, for me, this has always felt kind of Christmassy. You know, you've got the snow, you've got the winter, you've got the decorations. He's trimming trees for half the movie, you know, and so it just, you know, I don't know. It's not overtly Christmas. I you know, there's not a whole lot. I don't even think there's I don't think they actually make it to Christmas Day. I think he runs away like beforehand. But yeah, so this one just kind of for me has felt like that he runs away. That's the spoiler.
This isn't a Tom Cruise movie, Brode. Obviously, I mean, what do you mean runs away? Now I can't watch it. I can't.
You should never run with scissors. You should never do it.
It's true. It's true. So
it's a sad thing because he starts running with scissors and he falls and he impales himself, and then the credits roll and there's like a tagline that says "Never run with scissors, kids." Merry Christmas.
Did you know that Johnny Depp reprised this Edward Scissorhands role for a very 2-second bit in Family Guy?
I
couldn't believe that when that was really him. Yeah, that was him. He did that.
I did not.
That's an excellent movie though, and an excellent choice. Very warm, very sentimental.
Yes. About love and accepting people, even though they have deadly razors on their hands.
Yeah.
All right, that's my number 3. All right, Tudong, your number 3 is...
My number 3 is The Secret of My Success. I'm not exactly sure why it came out at Christmas. There's a Christmas tree at the end. This was the one where I said to the wife, I said, say Christmas movie, but not a Christmas movie. And then I've got to say the first thing comes to mind. And somehow or another, this one came up. I don't know why. I remember seeing this in the movie theaters with my dad and my brother. And I mean, yeah, Michael J. Fox. He was he was good at it. I don't know why Christmas though, but it just kind of came to mind. It does feel like it's a warm movie. It's nice and it's childhoodish, all the things Christmas should be.
This was by the way, just for the record, released in April of 1987. And I think the whole movie, if I remember correctly, takes place during the summer. It's like Los Angeles. They're out by the pool.
It's New York.
Is it New York?
Los Angeles?
I don't know. I haven't seen it's 1987. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't remember. I certainly don't remember a Christmas tree.
I'm sure there must have been one in the end. At least there was a tree. There was a tree.
There was a tree. There was definitely trees. Hey, it's a Christmas movie to you, and that's what matters.
This was my wild card, all right? This was my Charlie Kelly right here. This is wild card. I don't know how it came from, but I stuck with it.
There you go. There is Dylan's number 3. All right, Charlie, your number 3 is... Oh, I thought about putting this on my list.
So I just... Good. So each of my 3 is like a general category, and then I'll pick a representative from that category to kind of be the flagship. So in this case, probably the first one, the Sorcerer's Stone is kind of like, it's got a nice Christmas tone. But I think usually around this time of year is when we decide, we're gonna watch the Harry Potter series again with the kids, and then we usually get a couple movies in, and then we usually peter out, which is why we never quite make it to the end. Which the end, the more serious and dark they get, the less they feel like real Christmassy. But those first few, when they're youngins, there's a Christmas elements in the movies, and there's certainly an air of magic and wonderment is nice at this time of year. So these are fun family movies that we tend to enjoy around the holiday. And there actually are Christmas trees in them. And
which one do you guys find the most
magic trees?
Most which one do you guys usually are like, this was its peak right here? This was the one.
The peak?
Like the best of all of them?
Yeah, what is your guys' favorite? There's got to be at least one where you guys are like, we like the...
I really like Azkaban. I really like Half-Blood Prince as well. I think that one's one of my favorite books, is Half-Blood Prince.
I think Azkaban's my favorite.
Azkaban's excellent.
But yeah, Charlie, and I think I think what helped with the Christmas feel of these is that for a long time, ABC through the month of December was just like continually playing these movies like leading up to Christmas. And so it did kind of have this kind of, especially the earlier one, like the first Harry Potter especially, like had a fairly long like winter Christmas scene. And so those earlier ones, I agree, did feel quite a bit Christmassy. Which is why I thought about putting it on my list, but I didn't.
And they were released like late in the year too, so it was like a
Yeah, I think they were usually like the November-ish, like late November, like the Thanksgiving holiday-ish.
Yeah.
So I saw like a few of these in the theater around Christmas, and always a fun time. Well, when I was younger, time to go see movies. Now, not so much, but yeah.
I know you never go to the theaters anymore.
Well, I mean, there was that COVID thing, but also movies are expensive and terrible, and leaving the house is the worst.
All right. Moving on to number 2. My number 2 is, oh yes, it's another Tim Burton movie. Must have been something about winter Christmas time around this time in Tim Burton's life, because these came out pretty close. They might have even been back to back. I don't know. Because this was 91, and then I think Edward Scissorhands was after this. Anyways,
I thought it was 90. It's 92. 93?
No, it wasn't 90.
I don't know.
I don't know. But this one takes place during Christmas. I think this one, of all the Batman movies, really took advantage of like the season that it took place in the most. Like this one just takes place during Christmas. If there's snow outside, there's Christmas trees outside. There's like the last lines of the whole movie are Merry Christmas, Alfred. Goodwill towards men and women.
And cats.
And cats. So yeah, this one just for not being a Christmas movie, for being a Batman movie of all things, feels very Christmassy. So there you go.
By the way, 92 for Batman Returns and 1990 for Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
Oh, I see. I should have gone with my first guess. I said 90.
So Edward was in between the two Batman movies. Yeah, I knew that they were like right around the same time. So he must have had something going on where he really liked Christmas time. But there you go. My number 2, Christmas Batman Returns.
Really?
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. Remember that, kids.
But a kiss can be deadlier if you mean it.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody finished that. All right. Tudong.
My number 2.
Your number 2.
My number 2 isn't quite as off the wall as my number 3. It is The Prince and the Showgirl, Marilyn Monroe and Sir Laurence Olivier.
I have no idea what this movie is.
This movie actually takes place around that kind of time, and there is a long sequence. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while, but there's the coronation, or it is in fact Christmas, or it's New Year's, something along those lines. And that's the kind of thing that when I was younger, we would kind of sit and watch, like, in what's happening. It was in England, and we'd see the all that kind of stuff. And this movie always just kind of, when I'd see the whole thing, just it had some sort of almost like a filter of just that exact kind of old fashioned right there that you get at the grand folks' house.
Huh. I have never seen this movie. I have no idea what it is.
It's obscure. It's Marilyn Monroe, Laurence Olivier. You'd think more people would know about that, Like
Dylan's a big Marilyn Monroe fan.
He is.
This is true.
He is.
This is true. Very true. She did very well.
Charlie, have you seen this one?
No.
I don't think I've shown you this one. Yeah. This one. That's
I gotta admit, like my pre-1980s movie viewing is very limited.
Pre-1977.
What's special about 77? Is that when Star Wars?
That's when the first Star Wars came out, and then you had Jaws, and you had Superman the movie.
Oh yeah.
There was a couple kind of in those late 70s, but really anything before 77, I'm like,
right. Well, good pick. Good pick.
There you go. Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
my number
Great
two-
pick. Great pick. All right, Charlie,
My
your
number two
two.
involves the fireplace behind me. It's not Christmas without some rom-com. I love a good holiday rom-com. Now, not like if I'm being honest, and I know this may be a controversial statement to some, I didn't actually like Love Actually all that much, which is both a movie that takes like wholly around Christmas and has like the Hugh Grants of the world and lots of big stars in it. I didn't take to it. There's some of those plots are pretty I don't know. But I like Hugh Grant movies, and this is one of my favorites. So I'm using this as the flagship for my rom-coms. Amy and I have watched this one together. There was a TV show that was also based off of this that is really enjoyable. It's also based off a book, but I haven't read that. So we won't talk about that here, but you should read. But this is a really, if you've never seen this movie, it's very fun and it's very enjoyable. And there is a winter/Christmas theme about it. It's also about family and love and kind of is, I don't know, there's a lot of really good elements. It's very funny and it'll get you right in the heart for those, those tear-jerking moments. But, I like this one quite a bit. It's a good movie and it's not a bad one. You can really pick, any Hugh Grant movie. I can't do Hugh Grant anymore. Oh my gosh, I gotta practice Hugh Grant. For Wednesday Funeral is fun. Notting Hill is fun, but this is I think my favorite of the Grants. I could have gone like with When Harry Met Sally or anything was my favorite all the time. But this one I wanted to spotlight something different. This is great. If you've never seen it, watch it. If you never watched the TV show, check it out. All of it is great.
Charlie, we saw this in the theaters together.
And we've been in love ever since. You used to look at me like that, boys, looking up at Hugh Grant. That's how you used to look at me when you were a young little whippersnapper.
True.
They grow old so fast.
That's a young Nicholas Hoult, right?
Yeah. From the X-Men movies.
Pre-Beast, yeah.
And other things. But yeah, very funny, very good.
There you go. All right. Moving on to number one. What's my... Oh, I remember what my number one is. It's not what you think it is, Charlie and Tudong.
Oh, it's not?
Oh, it's not. Because what you're thinking is an actual doggone Christmas movie. Doggone it. So, I went with Gremlins.
Nice.
Oh,
because
nice.
this I think more than most movies really kind of walks the line of being a Christmas movie. I think there could be an argument that this is a Christmas movie.
Is there an argument against that?
If you take Christmas out of the plot, it doesn't change the movie at all.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
okay, that's true. That's true.
It's not like I think it adds to the setting. Like I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. I think you're absolutely right. I think it belongs on this list. But I mean, it doesn't. There's a scene where like Santa gets like attacked by the gremlins. There's some funny moments, and it's snowy and it's nice. But I don't. If you took all that away and just had it in a snowy atmosphere, taking place around Halloween or whatever,
substituted with the Easter Bunny, then it's okay.
Hey,
I think it's still
Easter Bunny getting eaten by gremlins, no problem.
If this wasn't taking place at Christmas, though, there wouldn't be a movie because he got Gizmo as a Christmas present.
Well, I mean, it could have been a birthday present.
It could have been an Easter present.
Nobody gets Easter presents.
So just a present because a dad loved his son.
But anyway, so this one, I think this one is so close to being a Christmas movie, and it takes place during Christmas, and Christmas is throughout this movie. Like I said, he gets Gizmo for a Christmas present. You get the super depressing story about Phoebe Cates' dad, and why she hates
some dark stuff.
Why she hates Christmas. So it's just Christmas all over this movie. But ultimately,
the dad still could have been the Easter Bunny too, though.
My dad was burrowing under the house.
Right, can we linger here for just a second, Brody, if you don't mind?
Totally.
Are you guys aware that there's going to be a Gremlins 3?
No, I did not know that.
So Zach Galligan has been quoted as saying that it's in the vein of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. and it might not ignore completely Gremlins 2, but it's like a direct sequel to the 1984 Gremlins movie. Well, I shouldn't say direct. I mean, it's a lot of years later, obviously.
Sure.
Interesting. But they were originally going to do it as like just a fresh reboot, but then they decided to swing it as like a continuation of the story. So
interesting.
Also, Joe Dante, the guy that directed the first Gremlins, absolutely hated this movie.
Really?
And like, just every quote that he has is so infuriating because it's a really fun and nice movie.
Yeah.
And he had, getting to direct it, and he's just like so irritated by it. Anyway, I don't like him. I don't care for him.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
show some gratitude.
Because you've got Spielberg, you've got Chris Columbus that were involved, you got all these big names, and so
yeah,
Joe Dante, it's okay, man. It's okay. You made a great movie.
Get out of here, Joe.
You made a great movie.
Just own it.
And this movie holds up. I just watched this one recently with my kids.
Yeah,
they really liked
me too.
it.
It's good.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
We had a good time. I'm excited to show them Gremlins 2, and now someday soon, hopefully Gremlins 3.
I'm worried to show my kids Gremlins 2. I remember as a kid watching it and not liking it. So,
but you weren't scared about it.
No, I just
Why
didn't.
would you be worried?
I just didn't like it. It wasn't.
It was very chaotic.
It was.
It was like they didn't have a script and just kind of like tossed it out of there.
Let's just pick crazy.
And there's like
stuff.
meta stuff in Gremlins 2 where he's taking shots at Gremlins 1. There's like a Gremlin thing where they're like, "Oh, we made it. It's a scary movie like for kids," and like he's taking shots at Gremlins in Gremlins 2. Guy's a jerk.
Have you ever, Charlie? Have you ever seen that Key and Peele? Ever show you that Key and Peele thing where they're doing like a pitch meeting and they're like, "All right, we're just gonna do Gremlins Part 2, and we'll just kind of continue it on." And the guy comes in, and he's like throwing out different ideas, and and they're all in the movie. Everything that they picked are actually, and then they're like, it actually made it in the movie. Did I show you that? That is excellent. That's excellent.
No, but that sounds fantastic.
I've never heard of that. I'll have to look that up. All right.
I can send it to both of you.
So there is my number one non-Christmas movie, Gremlins. All right, Tudong, your number one is...
My number one Christmas, but not Christmas movie, is the movie Volunteers. Now, I will admit, if you're looking at it at the actual movie, it is in no way held up in any way that's good. It is actually, they don't get any sort of Thai language correct. It's a whole bunch of terrible stereotypes. But it is Tom Hanks.
Perfect for a Christmas feeling movie.
Sleazy. He is a slut in this movie. And he is so sarcastic. So sarcastic. And John Candy is so he's right. He's completely 100% just this absolute lovable, energetic, complete opposite. And I love how that whole dynamic, but not only that, this is one of those movies that, although I have shown to other people who have similar tastes in movies, this is one of those I can still quote with my mom and my younger brother Reed. We'll throw out a quote and we'll just basically just us will kind of be able to like throw out a quote back or do a whole scene or something along those lines. And it I don't know that when I think of Christmas, I think of family like at its most, and then the connections that you have, and sometimes those connections are through movies. And this was one of those things that is very warm and dear to the heart, even though looking at the actual movie, it doesn't hold up well. But besides that, I absolutely love it.
So besides it not holding up well, and besides it have nothing to do with Christmas, it's the perfect Christmas movie,
very
right?
conjuring. Christmas does happen. Okay, Christmas does happen. My grandmother even could quote this movie when I think about it. There is a scene where there's Christmas and New Year's and all that kind of thing. But I mean, this is the kind of thing like I would watch with family. When I think of things between like myself, my mother, my grandmother, and my younger brother Reed, this is one of those things that kind of tethers right on through. And for me, what more kind of Christmas thing is there than in that kind of connection with family?
Agreed.
There you go.
I'll tell you what's more.
I'm not defending it.
I've never seen this movie before.
Tom Hanks is really funny. He is so sarcastic. The dry wit that runs in the family. I mean, it's very. This is exactly kind of how it is. It is really. They go on into the Peace Corps, and they go to Thailand, and he switches places with a friend of his because he's getting out of a debt, a gambling debt, and they go over there looking down on these magnificent Thai people, but they weren't there at all. They cast really other kinds of different things, and that whole part of it. And when you hear them speaking whatever gibberish language that they think that language would be, but Tom Hanks somehow still sells it. Come on, he is still.
Christmas.
He still just gets. Yeah.
Hey, like family, it's imperfect, but fun.
There you go. All right, so there's Two Dogs number one. Charlie, your number one.
My number one is simply put the category of Shane Black. The flagship representation of this is the movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is just a fantastic movie. But Shane Black has scripted many movies, a lot of action, kind of crime thrillers, and he has set the Christmas as the backdrop in at least 6 of them that I could think of. So Lethal Weapon, Last Boy Scout, Long Kiss Goodnight, which is underrated. Samuel L. Jackson, go see that if you can. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is fantastic. Iron Man 3.
I was going to say Iron Man 3, which... Yeah. And
even The Nice Guys, which is streaming on Hulu. These are all Shane Black vehicles that have like a loose backdrop of Christmas. And one more Shane Black Christmas connection for you is that he is actually responsible for Die Hard being named Die Hard. Because he was writing a different script, and he was writing The Last Boy Scout, and it was named, he was going to name it Die Hard. And Die Hard was based on a novel called Nothing Lasts Forever. And so Joel Silver was like, hey, I don't like the title. Can I steal your title? And Shane Black's like, okay. And so he let him steal the title. And so he's responsible for Die Hard being it, because no one's watching Die Hard as religiously as they do if it keeps the Nothing Lasts Forever title. I'm just saying. Nothing Lasts Forever Part 3. I mean, because Die Hard really did last forever. You couldn't kill the franchise. Nothing Lasts Forever implies you have to have only a few movies, because nothing lasts forever.
Sure.
So and I will share one more Shane Black trivia in lieu of talking about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is fantastic. Is that he was Hawkins in Predator. And he was killed off within 7 minutes of the film because they brought him in to be in the movie because they wanted him to work on the script, because he had written Lethal Weapon and it had a bunch of buzz. And so the quote from the producer of Predator, John Davis, said, Shane was a really great writer who had just written this great script called Lethal Weapon. We wanted him to do a rewrite on Predator. So we put him in the movie because he's an actor. And we got him down here, and then we asked him to do a rewrite. And he said he was an actor in the movie and not a writer. So he was the first person we killed. He got killed 7 minutes into the movie.
Well, and didn't Shane Black end up doing an Alien vs. Predator, or the new Predators?
Yep. And it's come full circle. Yep. Yeah. So, but anyways, I like the Shane. I like this kind of witty, bantery, kind of capery, crimey movies. And I think Shane Black just does a great job with those. So give me any Shane Black for Christmas, but if I get to pick only one, I'm taking Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Robert Downey Jr.'s career, a lot of people think it was reinvigorated with Iron Man, but before there was Iron Man, there was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and everyone's like, whoa, Robert Downey's still alive, and he's pretty great.
Really great. And Val Kilmer. Come on.
Val Kilmer. Always great. He's a real genius.
This is one of Val Kilmer's best performances. This goes up there.
So with Brody, have you seen this?
I don't think I have.
Have you seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I don't think I have.
Oh, Brody.
Charlie,
I told you to watch a lot of things on this podcast that you haven't seen, but I've never meant it more than I do right now.
Okay.
Watch this.
All right.
You'll love it, bro.
Don't watch it with the kids.
Don't watch it with the kids?
Why not?
Don't watch it with the kids, but you can watch it with your lovely wife.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I considered putting Iron Man 3 on my list, but so I'm glad that you got a Shane Black.
I'm glad that each one of mine doesn't in any way, it's the sliverest bit of Christmas, Out of all of them.
You just kind of it's like you drew movie names out of a hat. You look at your DVD collection, you're like, that one.
That one.
I took some darts and I was just kind of like,
hey,
you know what?
Here going to tell you how to celebrate
your
Christmas.
Michael J. Fox DVD kind of set with The Secret of My Success, which is very, by the way, for Christmas or something, but I still appreciate it. That's very Christmassy.
I know, and I got you to watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Kept telling you how great it was, and I'm glad you finally got around to watching it.
Finally got around. I watched it with you, as a matter of fact.
All right. You guys have anything else to add to this? Or should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap. Hey, let's Christmas wrap and paper it up. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. All right.
Well, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you all. Whatever movies speak of this time of year, whether it's a mostly racist Tom Hanks vehicle like Volunteers, or a wonderful family film like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Settle in with someone that you love, even if it's just that person is yourself. Sure. Watch a good movie this time of year. Enjoy a roaring fireplace. Stay warm, and make sure you keep coming back for more content. Like, subscribe, and check out Santa Claus Beard over there. He's got more videos below him.
Videos below you. Subscribe below me.
Well, you're seeing it. I'm not, so you can do it. I believe in all of you. Thank you. You're the real gift of this season.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.